So we are having a little Zoom meeting to discuss our upcoming concert called Reason for Being Together with the Raison d'Etre Opera Company. And I have two people with us, Gary Briggle, actor, singer, director, entrepreneur, and Mary Monson, remarkable gangbusters mezzo-soprano. And we're going to so I right now I'm saying Mary meet Gary, Gary meet Mary. And
hi Gary.
I know,
hello Mary.
I know Gary from being in AOT's production of The Consul, and I know Mary from working with her vocally and also singing with her in Minnesota Opera Chorus. So if you want to give us a little bit more info about yourselves, that would be fabulous.
Well, I will always defer to Mary, so you may begin.
Thank you, Gary. I guess I started studying with Pat probably 20 years ago, 25. So we've known each other a while. And we've sung in Minnesota Chorale together as well.
That's right.
I sing at Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church as their section leader and soloist, not mezzo soloist.
Mhm.
And I live here in the Twin Cities, and I'm happy to be a part of this new venture.
Well, we are certainly grateful and thrilled to have your involvement, Mary.
Thank you.
As an artist, as a spirited member of this artistic and musical community, it's such a pleasure. I look so forward to beginning our artistic relationship through Raison d'Etre.
I think it's going to be fun.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's going to be fun. And so let me see. I'm going to ask Gary first, because you are both directing and singing in this. Is what draws you to this project?
Well, I'm 70 years old this year, and I'm acutely aware of the place that puts us all in who are of a certain age in terms of this work that we love to do. And I want to advocate for empowerment for people of a certain age who've had a wealth of experience and certainly have a passion for making music and theater and musical theater. And so I'm just grateful to be a part of Raison d'Etre as executive director, and hopefully I can help to attract other people to join us in our work and in our efforts to expand community engagement, as well as expand our audience for the very interesting and particular kinds of things that singers and singer actors can do who have had a lifetime of experience to bring to their performance.
Really true. I mean, I think when you get to be maybe in your 50s, you realize there's stuff you know just from doing it, and then I remember going to grad school when I went back and got a doctorate when I was 49. And I remember these kids kind of looking at me and thought, yeah, you wait, and we got to be really good friends. But, it's like there's stuff I realized I knew just from experience, that so much of this information was reinforcement. Anyway, moving on. Mary, what draws you to this project?
Well, being in my 50s, I don't have as many opportunities to perform in opera as I used to. And I love doing the other work that I do, but I really love opera. And I remembered that this summer when I sang just in the chorus with Andrea Bocelli. And there were those opera tunes. And I said to Deb Gilroy, I love opera so much. And she said, come sing in our concert. So she invited me to come. But that's my impetus, is I just really love opera, and I love to sing opera, and I'd like to use my voice in that way before it goes away.
You won't.
No.
So I'm really drawn to this project because we've gotten to pick some of the literature ourselves, and I love programming. And so I guess my next question is, of the selections that we're singing, or that you've chosen, or that Gary's chosen, have you done any of these roles before?
I sang my aria for an audition. I didn't perform the role. And the others, I've been singing one of them since I was a kid. It was on the radio, and I've just known it that long.
Cool.
No, I haven't performed the roles, but I've been singing them.
Awesome.
Well, and it's part of what we hope to always do with the work that we present, which is to give people an opportunity to share meaningful pieces from their repertoire, as well as to try experimental things, to sing repertoire that they have longed to sing or wondered about singing, and to take command of those things and make wishes come true.
You know, and that's what's so fun for me is I'm digging around for stuff, and I thought, and kind of dealing with the fact that I don't have the high notes I used to have, and I came across I'm easily assimilated, which I'm going to sing, and I thought, oh, I want to do something funny. I want to do something funny so bad. It's just, I think I've done plenty of not funny over the years, and I think that. Well, I think I'm a funny person. That's part of it, and that's part of what I want to share with the audiences. And, getting to also sing a great slow ballad, musical theater ballad. Oh man, that's a lot of wish fulfillment for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and any chance to engage with the general public of all ages with repertoire that is meaningful, whether it's serious or entertaining in the comic vein, just again, like Mary was saying, reminds all of us of the range of expressivity found in opera, light opera, operetta, and musical theater. And I think we all own different pieces of that, and can move to our strengths as well as to our sense of possibility.
Yeah, I went to see Next to Normal at Latte Da yesterday, and there's Peter Rothstein is leaving. I think he's already left actually, but he talked about musical theater, and I would put opera in this category as well, that it increases our capacity for empathy. And I thought, bingo. There's something about communicating vocally, and especially in depicting a character that, kind of increases our capacity for empathy, and I just like, oh man, that's so exciting. I want to hang on to that. Just really.
Well, telling stories through music, whether they are our own stories or stories that we flow into through our imagination, which is part of what I think artistry is all about, is a reason to keep singing always.
Right. I agree.
I do as well.
So I was trying to, the last question we were talking about is favorite stories from opera. And I thought, everyone I'm thinking about, I don't know if I should tell. So
I have a clean story.
Oh, great. Hit me.
I'll just go ahead with it then.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was performing in the chorus at Minnesota Opera, and we were doing the Tales of Hoffmann. And one of them, of course, is in Venice. And I'm singing on stage, and a little gondola comes across the stage with little marionettes in it. And I hear my late mother-in-law sitting in the Ordway audience saying, "Oh, isn't that cute?" And then I hear my son, "Shh, Grandma, you can't do that." And I just about died there on stage because my mother-in-law had never been to the opera before, but she thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think that's one of the things I love so much about it, is that people come and they're touched, and it causes them to feel something and really enjoy it sometimes. And that was a treat to me because she didn't have that before.
Yeah. I that reminds me of something when my niece's husband, Brian, had never been to an opera before. And I was singing in La Boheme, and they came and they went crazy, you
Mhm.
know, couldn't get over the sound and the vitality of it. And I was like, oh, all right, no, a new believer. And they've gone a few times since, I think. So Gary, do you have one favorite story?
Oh my gosh.
I know, that's a loaded question.
After a lifetime of doing this, I have from the sublime to the ridiculous, but I will simply tell you that in the production with Minnesota Opera that I consider to be my debut, when I had a featured role enough to really feel like I was one of the big kids, I was singing Pedrillo in Abduction from the Seraglio with Minnesota Opera at O'Shaughnessy Auditorium. And it was Wesley Balk's vivid production, very lively, a wonderful story with a wonderful cast. And we had a gigantic Russian bass, a charming, gentle giant of a man singing Osmin. And on opening night, as can happen, adrenaline was flowing very high. And in a scene in which he and I were alone, and I was drugging Osmin to put him to sleep so that we could escape from the Seraglio, he was supposed to gently recline in a wheelbarrow that I had wheeled into the center of the O'Shaughnessy stage. In his zeal to act that collapse, he threw his 450 pounds into the wheelbarrow and snapped the front axle.
Ooh.
Now there's no more dialogue because there's only one character who's conscious. There's no music because it's a vaudeville. And I thought, oh my God. And I looked into the pit to the conductor, Bruce Ferdin, who had put his head in his hands and put his head down on the music stand. It was an improvisation that went on for about 4 minutes in total silence, as I tried to communicate to dear Misha that I was going to waft the cork of the wine bottle under his nose, and he was to rise semi-conscious and follow me off the stage into the wings without ever speaking a word, because that was the setup of the scene. All I could think of was that Wesley Balk would be standing in the wings ready to fire me for ruining opening night of his production. But I managed to get him into the wings with the extraordinary support of the entire audience, who applauded every little victory that I achieved in getting that gigantic guy off the stage. The next character that enters after that scene is Belmonte, whose first line was, "Pedrillo, what have you been doing?" And I just collapsed onto the stage in a heap and stopped the show.
Well deserved, I think.
It was
Man.
a traumatic and hilarious debut.
Amazing.
I
And
know.
the audience loved you.
Amazing.
Well, they did. They were, as audiences always are, there to see you succeed in one way or another.
Mhm.
And it was a love affair across the footlights.
That is amazing. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's great. That's like, I was in Doubt with Minnesota Opera, and I was one of the nuns. There were 4 of us around the table with the amazing Christine Brewer, and there was a tech, I think, and it's on a sled, the sled that, and all of a sudden there's this gigantic thunk. I think you could hear it across the street from the Yardway. And I won't tell you the expletives that the tech crew got into, but thank God it wasn't opening night, because it took a whole lot of effort to get that show back on the road. It was bad news. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So I guess eventually this video is going to get posted. So I want to make a little commercial announcement, and I hope I get all the facts right, that this concert that we're all going to perform in is taking place on August 20th at Lake of the Isles Lutheran Church in Minneapolis. I think it's 3 p.m. Is that right, Gary?
Yes.
And we would love it if you'd all come. It's our
Yes.
inaugural performance. It's kind of singer wish fulfillment time. It's I would say, kind of a potpourri program. And I think you will really enjoy it. And we will really enjoy seeing you there. So I thank you so much for listening in on this little Pat's Perspectives talk. And I will hope to see you on August 20th. Thanks so much, Mary and Gary.
Thank you, Pat. So lovely to be with you, Mary.
Yes, feelings mutual, Gary.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.